Why did we?
What's up and welcome back? What's up and welcome back to this. What are we called? Take two.
I swear you just did that one for the
What's up
Instagram.
and welcome back to the Pesky podcast. My name is Ari Ayton, and here's my friend Robert, who I also call Bobby. How's it going, Bobby?
Ari. We gotta relate back. We gotta keep it at like a 3. Right now you're at like 127. All right.
That's gonna be our intro.
The worst intro ever.
What's up and welcome back to the Pesky Pole podcast. My name.
You suck at this. All right. You suck at this.
I'm sorry. This is my first time. Cut me some slack.
That was the most monotone thing I've ever heard. All right. Or did you?
Welcome back to the Pesky Pole podcast. What's up and welcome back to the Pesky Pole podcast. My name is Ari, and here's my friend Bobby. Bobby, how's it going? Answer the question.
A little bit of energy.
A little bit.
All right.
A little too much.
And know what the English language is. All right.
I cannot speechify well. What's up and welcome back to the Pesky Pole podcast. My name is Ari, and here's my friend Robert, and we're here to talk about the Sox. How's it going, Bobby?
Not too bad. How you guys doing today? Without further ado, let's just get right into it today. We got quite a bit to talk about. Not too much has happened in the past week, but there are some things. We just got started, so we got to recap a whole off season. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first thing that I wanted to talk about, Ari, is Chris Sale. What's going on with him?
Yeah, so he came into spring training this year, and he had, what was it, the flu and pneumonia, I think, something along those lines, which that'll immediately set you back. And it seemed like he was fine with bullpen sessions and stuff, but apparently he's just not shaking it, so I think he's going to be out for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. That's big. Like, we're losing our opening day starter. But with all the articles and news that I've read, it seems to me that Erod's going to take that position, which, I mean, seems legit to me. I mean, he pitched today. He pitched like 6 innings, I think. No, 2 innings. He had 6 strikeouts, I think, or something like that, which are good numbers. Like, I'm more than happy to have him be that opening day starter. So
it's not bad stats, but especially for a guy like Erod, to me, on a good team, he is your 3rd starter, like, at best. You still need those 2 guys that are all-star, if not borderline all-star. And I'm very, very, very cautious and nervous about him being the opening day starter.
Really? I have a lot more faith in him than I did last year, mainly because he almost was a 20-game winner. Like, that's big. Yeah. So, but I think that he could, definitely be someone who I mean, I guess we're gonna have to go with. It's either him or Evaldi, but I haven't heard anything about Evaldi, so.
There's really nobody else, and considering that the Red Sox bullpen didn't necessarily get better over the offseason, we still might need Evaldi to come in off the bench sometimes. But we don't have a good starter because David Price is gone now. So
I think the first month is going to be weird.
Very weird, and it wouldn't surprise me if this Red Sox team starts out very, very slow.
My problem with that is if we start slow, we're going to stay slow. Like, if you look at what happened last year.
Yeah.
Last year, like, I mean, it was a long road trip to start off the season, but I mean, regardless, we did not play well at all, and like, that's putting it mildly.
There was
I'm looking at it here. I mean, Erod was 19-6, 3.8 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. I'm happy, I guess. I mean,
yeah. From what I see here, on MLB.com, talking about their roster projections.
Yeah.
The starting 4, they say, for this team come opening day is Erod, Eovaldi, Martin Perez, and Ryan Weber, which I don't hate, but I don't like.
Well, and I feel like Weber's going to be – I think our bullpen's going to be big. I don't think we'll have as many bench players.
The bullpen as of right now has 9 people in it.
Yep.
Brandon Workman, Matt Barnes, Ryan Brazier, Heath Hembry, Darwinson Hernandez, Josh Taylor, Marcus Walden, Chris Mazza, and Austin Bryce are all projected to be on the opening day roster as relievers.
Yep. And we might see Weber be that – he might not go 5 innings. That's just – he might end up being the opener that was so popular in Tampa Bay. I don't know.
When it comes to this rotation, especially because this is saying Chris Sale is going to go on the 15-day injured list, should be back April 7th.
Yeah.
All right. But in that time, I don't mind going a bullpen of 9, take a 4-man starter, take a 4-man starting rotation, and just have those guys be on limited innings, no matter what. Yep. Even if they're in a no-hitter going into the 6th inning, you pull them.
It might not even be like 6 innings. Like, it might be, you pitch for 2 innings, literally. And you segment people doing that. That way people's ERAs hopefully stay low.
Because you remember the Tampa Bay Rays last year. They had to do a lot of crafty stuff to make the playoffs, especially with a lineup that was making just under what David Price was making by himself. Just over what David Price was making.
Yeah.
As a full 25-man roster, they had to be extremely creative in their pitching rotation and who they faced against who. And I know we have a new manager, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes deep into the playbook to try and find different strategies to use these 13, 14 pitchers effectively.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of old school in the fact that I don't really like the whole idea of an opener. And because what it seems like to me is when you have an opener, you run your bullpen that much harder. And, well, if you have an opener, like, say, Darwinson Hernandez, and then you have Weber pitch 4 or 5 innings, and then you go over to the bullpen. In that situation alone, you're using up 2 pitchers. Whereas if you had a starter, you would have for instance, Eovaldi. Eovaldi could go 5-6 innings. That's one player. That's just my view on it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Because up until, let's say that it's pushed back a day and Chris Sale is available the 9th, because that's just when they start a new series. They have to deal with Toronto, Baltimore. Toronto, Baltimore, White Sox, and Tampa Bay, all for 3 games each.
So Toronto doesn't scare me that much, as much as, and obviously Baltimore doesn't scare me as much. But
Toronto and Baltimore, obviously, but that 6-game stretch with a 1 day off in between of Chicago and Tampa Bay, that scares me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
No, definitely, yeah.
Especially without the one all-star pitcher on this lineup, a lot of good things are going to have to be placed in. People
are going to have to pitch their butts off, basically. And
in that time where Sale's out,
Mm-hmm.
I think the pressure doesn't go to the starters, but it comes to the bench, especially Workman and Barnes. Right? Those guys need to be put in situations where it's a very, very close game, and they got to be the ones to get us out of it, especially Workman, because that's our closer.
As of now, I mean, I anticipate that there's going to be a move at the trade deadline for a pitcher, whether it's a relief pitcher, closing pitcher, or starter. Personally, I would want a starter.
I don't think they're doing it.
Really?
I mean, well, I'm looking at last year.
Yeah.
Right, and I know it was Dombrowski, and we don't like Dombrowski anymore. Got us one ring and then said, "All right, I'm a dip." But I think this team is still very, very cautious when it comes to how much money they're bringing in, because they're not going to be big spenders like your New Yorks, your Dodgers. They're not going to be big spenders like that.
Which annoys me because we've freed up so much salary in the form of trading Betts and Price. It's like now you can spend now. And looking at the next two free agencies for pitching, it's awful. We're going to have to trade to get a pitcher. And
that's definitely true, but I don't think that money that they saved was meant for
2020. Yeah.
I don't think it was meant for that. I think it was meant for, Devers, Bogarts. Because with the way Devers is, he's going to want a lot of money in 4 years. The way Xander is, he's going to want a boatload of money in a couple years.
Well, doesn't his contract start? I think his contract starts now. Right? Didn't they send him to like a 7-year extension?
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was long. He and Sale got like huge contracts. The people that I want to see them re-sign or give him extensions is Benintendi, Bradley, Devers.
That's definitely true.
I mean, those guys. I mean, you take out Betts, okay, yeah, we're gonna hurt. But if you let those guys go too, this team is trash, and this team will be trash for years.
Yes, you were right. My apologies. This year was the last year of his contract, and then he inked a 6-year, $120 million.
6 years, right.
6-year, 7 including this year. So,
yeah,
money's already given to him. Devers in 4 years. I mean, yes, he's only 23, but we already know this kid's going to want a lot of money, especially his level keeps rising.
What scares me, what really scares me, is I saw someone report that Devers has not talked to the Red Sox yet about a contract extension.
There's no need to.
Yeah. But also, who was the last person to not talk to the Red Sox about an extension, and what happened to him?
Mookie.
Yeah. Like that pisses me off. Like, I understand. You're right. It's really, really early. But the fact that Devers has said, I have had no contact whatsoever about an extension, it's like, okay, all right.
You got to remember, Devers is one of those guys that's like, all right, my focus right now, I want to win. I'm going to do whatever I can to win. Once I can't win anymore, then we'll talk.
True. And we might see an extension in the offseason, probably. Yep.
And plus, as of right now, he's only making $583,000 for this year. All right, so he's not exactly making that money. But for the next 3 years, you have eligibility for arbitration each of those 3 years. And then once he turns 27 in the 2024 offseason, then we worry.
True.
We got a long ways away before we got to worry about Devers. But
yeah, Devers is pretty much set. But the people, like Benny and Bradley. Like, Bradley's a free agent next year, so you got to give him the money now. Whatever he wants.
You know I love me some JPJ.
Yeah. And I mean, that guy's in center field. I see that guy being in center field for the next. I think they should give him an extension similar to Bogarts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about 6 years, maybe 5. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. You got not that long. No, not that long.
Not even 5.
Jackie Bradley Jr. right now is 30.
Oh, you're right. No, not 5. I would give him a 4, probably.
Yeah,
at the most a 4.
I didn't think he was that old either, but with right now he's on a 1-year, $11 million deal. Come next year, he's 31 years old. You know he's my favorite player, but I'm gonna say you give him around a 3 to 4 year, $55 million contract if you're going 4 years.
Yeah. And then Benny Butt Cheeks gets something a little bit more, obviously, like a longer contract because he's younger. Yeah. All right, so we got Sale. Chat about that. Verdugo, real quick, he broke his back. Broke his back in Tampa Bay last year, and he's like tweaked it ever since. So he's not starting, which is fine. We'll just stick Pilar in there.
Yep. Which not as of right now with his age and his talent, it's not that big of a decline to go from Verdugo to Pilar.
Oh no.
Obviously, you'd still want that young guy getting in there, getting reps, doing all this, getting himself better. Yeah. But with the stress fracture in his back, he's unlikely to be there March 26th. When he was signing an autograph for a fan, he said he'll be back in a couple of weeks. So what that means, probably
like extended spring training, similar to what Sale is dealing with, or what he'll be doing.
And at the same time, if we look at those 4 teams, Toronto, Baltimore, White Sox, Rays, we don't see a lot of great pitching in there, especially with
between Toronto and Baltimore,
Toronto just signed Hyun-Jin Ryu, so
name, for sure.
Got his name right.
You got his name right this time.
But yeah, other than that, they not really a lot of good pitching there.
I mean, you have Keuchel on the White Sox. So that's the only that's the only thing. I mean, depending on when we could get Giolito.
It's a 60% chance,
But then you also have a 60% chance you'll get Glasnow or Yarborough. Yarborough, right? Yeah. Yarborough or Snow.
There's no real. There's not too much to worry about, but
it's not like we're facing the Yankees.
It's not like we're facing any of the top teams, the Yankees, the Dodgers, any of those teams.
Yeah.
Which is fortunate. And trust me, I'd love to see how this team will do against any of those other really good teams out there,
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to that because your boy's going to go and see some in all throughout April and once I get back to Massachusetts in September. All right. But, you keep me updated on Portland, buddy.
So Portland, they have a Devers bobblehead, which I'm definitely going to go to.
Ooh, nice.
And there's a Dalbec bobblehead, but that's kind of early in the season. I don't know if I'll be going to that. But I want to get to some Dogs games.
No, one thing that I definitely want to do is I want to get to some Lowell Spinners games.
Yeah. Never been to Lowell.
That are on their second year contract that are just coming up through. Those guys are drafted really, really late. You're going to see some gems out of those guys. So I definitely want to go and see some of those guys.
Yeah. Speaking of gems, there are some young Sox who are tearing it up.
In spring training, yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, my word. And one of the guys that I'm really looking at a lot is Duran.
Absolutely.
That guy is crazy.
See, I've had a crazy busy schedule. Haven't been able to watch too much of the Red Sox spring training games, and plus in my college we get no cable at all.
Yeah.
But on an article that I found on WEEI posted 2 days ago, Out of the 3 games he played, 4 for 6, a triple, a homer, and an RBI.
Not to mention his defensive side of the ball. He's been like crazy.
That catches out there. Like
he plays right field, center field. So we might see him come up maybe in the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. And let me look this up. I believe he played in Single A.
Yep. And Portland too. Played in Portland.
And Portland, yes. But he played quite a bit everywhere. And let me get this loaded up. For last year, no, he did not play in Lowell. He played in Salem, right? In Salem, he averaged almost 400. 387 hitter, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. Kid's definitely not a power hitter.
Mash. He can mash. I don't know if he can hit home runs, but he drives the ball. He drives it.
13 doubles, 3 triples, and 4 homers. Not terrible.
Yeah.
He's at the very least getting the ball in the keeping the ball low. That's one of his big things. Is the majority of the time that he gets out, he's hitting the ball on the ground more than he is hitting it in the air, which I'll definitely take from somebody like that. Because like I said last week with this Red Sox team, you don't necessarily need somebody who's going to hit the ball over the fence. You need someone that's going to
get on base.
Just get on base.
Because you can have JD or Bogey drive you in, or Devers.
Like
no one needs to be a Mookie Betts. No one needs to be a David Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy that caught my eye was I don't know how to Jonathan Ara. I heard someone say his name Arouse, and I was like, I don't think that's how to say his name. Jonathan.
What's he batting?
He is batting. Let me just quick pull up the stat. He is batting. He hit a 3-run home run, I think, and it was like demolished. The guy's played third base. He's played shortstop, I think. Maybe no, he's played second base. Played some second base. Which I love that guy. I wasn't really too certain about him. But having him being a Rule 5 draft player, but that guy, I would like to see him be on the bench. Mm-hmm. He kind of reminds me of Brock Holt. I don't know why. Rip Brock Holt.
Still miss him. It was really cool to see Brock Holt and Mookie play against each other the other day.
That made me cry. When they posted that picture, I was like, oh!
I can't make a grown man cry right there. Like,
I can't do this.
Like, I'm 21 years old. You're what, 19, 20 at this point?
Yeah, 20.
So 20. That's enough to make a man cry.
Yeah.
Watch 2 guys that really took the reins and led this team for years, both in different jersey. Oh, no, we ain't talking about it.
We could have Brock Holt back, though. That's what I'm thinking. I'm waiting for, I don't know when his contract ends, but let's just get that man back on the Sox after he's done.
Jonathan Arras definitely has to make the team because obviously he was a Rule 5 draft guy.
Yeah.
And he's a utility guy, can play all throughout the infield. So, I don't know how much.
Good, especially considering the fact that we don't have a definite second baseman. We could see Dow back. We could see Chavis. We could see Peraza.
Definitely. But one thing I do like is this kid can play short, can play second, can play third, played a little bit of first, and he's a switch hitter.
Yeah, I do like the switch hitting factor.
So definitely coming off the bench will make him almost lethal because you don't need to pick strategies. He can go up against a right-hander or left-hander and still have the advantage.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd like to see him make the team. I'd love to see Duran make the team, especially considering the fact that he can play outfield. So with those 2 guys alone, you can cover, a pinch hitter coming in, and whether it be someone who needs to go to the outfield like Durant, or someone who needs to go to the infield like Araz.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy that caught my eye, and I haven't really seen much else, but Colton Wong hit a dinger. He hit a granny.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, he's obviously not going to – I highly doubt he's going to make the team, considering the fact that we have Lucroy and Plawecki kind of fighting for that spot, which looks like for now Plawecki's on the upside and kind of might be taking that spot. Yes. But I think there are some other guys who are tearing it up. There's not anybody that I can remember right now.
This definitely hasn't been bad. Spring training's had its definite highlights.
Yeah, we've had some good rookie starting pitching, 2 or 3 innings.
Going back to what you were saying about Jarren Duran.
Yeah,
I personally don't think he's ready for majors yet. He's still the Red Sox number 12 prospect, so it's still got a ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only 23 years old. So, you can make an argument like some guys like Devers are only 23 and thriving.
Devers is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
I found a nickname for Devers. I think this podcast will start nicknaming the players.
Uh-oh.
I've come up with a Devers nickname. I think it's original. I hope it's original. Big Cheeks Raffy. I saw a picture of him just hanging out in the batting cage, and he had this giant smile. He's big chubby cheeks, and I was like, "Ha, big cheeks."
Okay, so for those of you who watch the videos and are on the Instagram, first of all, appreciate you guys. Second of all,
definitely.
Ari runs the Instagram, so that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, don't blame him. Come personally attack me if you have issues.
I know he posted that on the Instagram.
Yeah. No, I think we should start nicknaming the players. Bobby doesn't approve.
I would approve if you came up with good nicknames. That's
on a different note.
But going back to Jarren Duran, he's the only way I see him coming up is if one of our guys, knock on wood, hopefully doesn't happen. Let's say Pilar goes down with a small injury that keeps him out 1 or 2 weeks.
Yep.
While Verdugo's still out.
Yep.
And instead of throwing JD into that right field spot, you call up Duran, see how he can play.
I feel like Duran's not gonna play until probably September. It maybe.
That's
considering
true.
The fact that
it's over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely true.
On a different note, on a more serious note.
Uh-oh.
What's up with this Red Sox investigation?
No one knows at this point. There's
not much to say. There's not much to really report other than Manfred doesn't want to I think that Manfred just doesn't want to let the Red Sox off the hook because they haven't found anything. Obviously, the fact that they're having to re-interview players, that's a little weird to me. It's like we're trying to scrape the bottom of the barrel to find something on the Red Sox.
I mean, yeah. I see it more as just they're leaving no stone unturned. All right.
Yeah, and in that case, that's what they need to do. I mean, they're not just trying to be annoying. But I do find it annoying that every time we have a press conference discussing this, the release date keeps moving back farther and farther and farther. And I was like, what is the deal with this?
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be before spring training. Then it was supposed to be in February. Then it was supposed to be this week. And it's not.
Nothing. No.
So
I'm completely fine with it just because they're going, leaving no stone unturned. Fortunately, Red Sox aren't under a lot of heat for anything because obviously the Astros are getting clunked 7 times in 3 games.
Although, to be fair, the Red Sox in 2017, I think it was 2017, the whole Apple Watch debacle, and they said we would not cheat again. So I think that when the Red Sox investigation is going to come out, that's going to resurface.
That's probably true.
Because they were like, and I mean, basically Manfred just gave Boston a slap on the wrist. He was like, all right, go on your merry way. And now it's like,
yeah,
this is big. But the fact that they haven't found anything, and the fact that the players are coming out openly and saying, yeah, we didn't do anything, makes me feel pretty good.
No, I believe this team played right, played fair.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the Astros, obviously we have hindsight now, but it's very obviously what they were doing.
Yeah.
Trash can and everything. If you go back and watch the videos, you can definitely hear stuff.
Oh yeah, I was listening to some videos last night, and I was like, "What in the world is this?"
And what was it, Altuve, after hitting a walk-off homer?
Yeah, I started grabbing his shirt. I was like,
"Yep,
that's
saying,
suspicious."
Don't rip off my shirt." So random stuff like that will make you think, "Hey, this isn't right. Something's definitely up here."
And like the two bad excuses he made, the two bad excuses, the one excuse that he had was, my wife didn't want me to tear off my shirt. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. And at that point in time, I during the postseason, I laughed because I was like, okay, whatever. Didn't really think much about the the scandal and all that. And then Correa in spring training says, yeah, he didn't want to tear off his shirt because he had half of a really bad tattoo on his collarbone. And I was like, that is the worst excuse I've ever heard. The fact he just want to tear off his shirt and he's going like this, I was like, okay, unbelievable.
Not good. All right.
So yeah, the last
that because we already went in depth about the Astros and all that last week.
Hoppy's take on it was interesting, though. I watched it, and he was like super chill about it. He basically said the thing that stood out to me differently was the fact that he was like, "Why didn't anybody say something about this during the season?" And I never really thought about that. I was like, "Yeah, you're right." He says, "You think that like you would be like, I don't want to be a part of this." I'm like paraphrasing what he said.
Mm-hmm. No, because I believe he knows that they're going to get what's coming to him.
Yeah, I believe Poppy. Whatever Poppy says, I will go with. Because he's Poppy.
Yeah, Astros. How many wins did the Astros have last year?
It was
They had
over, I think,
107. All right. They haven't lost a lot of the talent. Of course, they've had some big names.
Cole left. Who else?
Did Zach Greinke leave?
No, I don't think so.
From what I see, he's still with the Astros. So they lost Cole, but the majority of the team is
Morton
still
left before. Morton left in 2018, right? After 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with me saying that, we're going to see a big drop off in the Astros.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's gonna be interesting. 2018 is gonna be interesting. Do you have any news?
Did you just say 2018?
I've been calling this year 2018, 2019, 2020. I don't know. I don't know. Do you have any news outside the Red Sox?
Yeah.
Outside the ballpark?
But for anybody wondering, this is why I said in the first episode that this was just two idiots making a podcast. Because, well, it's one semi-smart person, and then there's Ari. That's basically what I'm working with here. All right. So with the
Wow.
Don't even.
On another note, I saw Birds of Prey last night. Go watch it. It's a great movie. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Okay, that's very random. So, on the Yankees, Luis Severino out for the year.
Do you know what I have to think about that? One less person we have to face. Although, if I'm a Yankees fan, that's a big blow.
Even here's my take on injuries. All right.
Okay.
Injuries suck, and they're a part of the game. That's what it is about baseball. All right, and about any sport, they suck. Everyone's going to get injured. It's a part of the game. When I played baseball in high school, I hated playing another team when one of their best players was hurt. I hated it. When I play you and I beat you, I want there to be no excuses. I want there to be, oh, this player was hurt. We didn't have them. No excuses. Beat you fair and square. Both teams even strength, and we won. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess this injury, obviously it comes at a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think, this probably goes without saying, but injuries can do a lot to a team.
Yes,
they can do a lot. If you look at the Yankees last year, like they had people going down left and right, they're dropping like flies, and they kept winning and stuff, which is amazing. But those things make a difference, and that's what I'm concerned about with the Red Sox. If we have people like Verdugo and Sale, who Sale's a huge contributor to the rotation. If he's out, it's like, so I just hope that we can have a healthy season this year.
Yes,
but it definitely is hard to say.
Mm-hmm. But getting back to the Yankees, he's out. They need somebody to fill that starting spot. And instead of looking internally and bringing a guy up, they're thinking of trading for Robbie Ray from the from the Diamondbacks.
He's got a good beard.
Mm-hmm.
Be sad to see it. I don't know what it is with the Yankees and like the shaving of the beards. That needs to go. Let them have dreadlocks. Let them look like hippies. Move on.
One of the things that I'm seeing is that Robbie Ray is going to be a free agent come next year. And I believe if the Diamondbacks feel they won't sign him back, they'll trade him. But the Yankees will seriously have to overpay. Because
also considering the fact that Ray isn't a phenomenal pitcher. He's good. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of talk this year during the offseason that we should get Robbie Ray. And I was like, okay.
He's one of those guys that when you go up to face him, one of three things is going to happen most of the time. You're either going to get struck out. He had 235 strikeouts last year, a 12.1 strikeouts per 9 innings. Very good.
4.3 ERA. Not bad.
3 ERA, yep. He gives up 4.3 walks per 9 innings and 30 home runs.
Considering the fact that if you're going to play for a team like the Yankees in a ballpark that just has a smaller outfield dimensions, that's going to really hurt you.
But you got to remember for this Diamondbacks team, their GM Mike Hazen is one of those GMs that plays the long game more than he plays the short game. He knows his team is going to win now, but if he can make a move that's going to let them win now and be better come 2 years down the road, he's going to do it, no matter who it is. Like, he was able to take Zach Greinke, who's going to walk, trade him to Houston, and get a lot of good prospects and get salary relief.
Kind of like Chaim.
Yep.
Chaim did that.
So, let me ask, do you think the Yankees will pull that off? Because, like I said, serious overpay for a fourth starter who's either going to strike out a lot of people, walk, and give up home runs.
I think the Yankees are gonna overpay people until the Yankees don't become an organization anymore. However, that is based off of the stats you just said, that is a big risk. You pay this guy, he might get hurt. Like, what do you do then?
Yeah.
I don't know what his injury record is, but
and you gotta remember, this is going to be a rental. He's gone after this season.
True. I think they don't have any choice. I think they're going to have to. I mean, you could look around the league and find anybody else who might be cheaper, but I think that's a big name with not a lot behind it.
That's true. I can see that.
He's not a terrible pitcher, but he's also not a number 2 starter.
Yes.
He's like a 5 or a 4, maybe a 4.
That's what they use him as a 4th or 5th starter.
True.
And so right now he's number 2 in Arizona.
Who's on the Yankees rotation? It would be Cole, Mark, Jermaine, right? Excuse me.
I do not know.
I think it's Jermaine. I think it's Jermaine. Yeah, he pitched last year. Jordan Montgomery. So that's 3. You get Robbie Ray. Oh, Tanaka. It's Tanaka. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It could be interesting. I wouldn't be floored if they get him, but that's a lot.
So it's Cole, Paxton, Tanaka, Jordan Montgomery. Right?
Oh my word! I completely forgot about Paxton.
And Paxton wasn't bad last year. 15-6, 3.82 ERA.
Yep.
Definitely not a bad guy. Tanaka is your 4 when he was 11-9 and a 4.45. He's an inconsistent guy, but not bad. Like, he even was an All-Star nomination back last year. Like, and then Jordan Montgomery, 2018, 2019, missed with Tommy John surgery, but this will only be like his 3rd official year because he was a rookie back in 2017.
Yep.
And J. Happ also.
He's old though. I think they're gonna let him go soon.
Yeah, that's true. But other than that, they ain't got much.
Yeah. Got anything else?
Nothing on this end.
Yeah, neither.
Anything else to talk about? Or are we good?
I mean, there probably is another story that's popped up within the course of this half hour, 45 minutes we've been recording. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find something to talk about for next week.
All right.
That thing, even in the off season, anything can happen in the MLB.
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate everybody who makes it this far into the episode, especially with Ari running his mouth for a good 30, 40 minutes.
Okay. Who is the guy with the numbers? Who is the guy with the numbers? That's all I got to say. Peace. I'll see you later.
We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.